Alright, we are going to build a little mini base with a trap on it that can be used for several different types of teams, but specifically the Pyro main. We're going to use a motorboat. You can probably get away with it on a raft, but motorboat's just able to go in reverse, unlike the raft is, and just makes it a little bit easier. So first, we're going to start with the foundation. Kind of in the middle, and what I want to do is, you see those these two little squares right here? On this one that I'm standing on, you want this first one to be just a slightly ahead of that one. So we'll kind of get in there, kind of line it up a little bit. We'll get into K mode and kind of about there is good, maybe a little bit further. What you want to do then is use the lines on the motorboat to kind of like make sure that you're like level and lined up properly. That's looking pretty good. And then what I do is those little rivets right there, you should have about like 2.5 on each side, is about even. So it's looking pretty good. We got a decent amount forward. I might just go, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it, but I'm not actually going to click it the second time yet. I'm going to go in K mode and shrink it, or out of K mode actually, shrink it down, go back into K mode, make sure I'm still lined up with everything. It's slightly off, but it'll be fine. I did actually make it a little bit further on the left hand side, I think, than I did on the right, but looks good actually. So now what you want to do is just go ahead and put foundations throughout the rest of the boat, and then take this foundation away in the middle, and you can leave it blank if you, especially if you want the extra a little bit of items you can put on your boat. But I usually like to put a little hatch on there. It makes it a little bit easier. You can still get to the boat to pilot it and whatnot, but it does that kind of a thing. So now what we want is we want some little extension out here. Alright, so that one we don't need. Alright, so just kind of like glue that out a little bit. You can kind of see where it just stops. You can, I also like to tend to go out this direction just a little bit. So now what we want to do is put some walls on this thing. And we'll put a door here. Right, yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these down temporarily till I can get the forge down. Let's turn off that. Let's turn on that. It just kind of helps me kind of like guide it a little bit. I want to square it up with this line right here. Just see how close we can get it. There. Oops. It doesn't matter which direction, it's just if you decide to kick it out, but we'll be doing other things for that anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that one. But you can turn it and get it to kind of be any direction you want, and then we're going to pick those up. Alright, and we want some, actually we want one more layer back here, and now we're going to go for the stairs going down. I prefer stairs. You could use whatever one you actually prefer, whether it be ramps or what have you. And that's the entrance. Ah, that's what I wanted. I actually want one more layer out here. Let's go ahead and replace those with that. I like the double doors for the ones that I'm using to get through. It just makes it, especially when you get the skins on there, they just auto open for you. Just makes things work a little bit easier for you. I do need doors. So, and I'm crafting everything out of metal. You could probably get away with just about anything, but just tends to work a little bit better for me. Cosmetically, I get those backwards, so we're just going to do that. Should do it. Yeah. Okay. So now we want the roof down. And we want a ladder here, which we'll use to get up to the top. And we are going to put our power right over there. Depending on your map, you may or may not get away with this, but these pretty much power 24/7 on the map that I'm on. Others have the same thing. So it just makes it to where I can power everything, including the forge. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. And you can go ahead and put either you can either put the fabricator over here or over here. It doesn't really matter. Just I kind of like it here because it's easy access to the forge on the outside. And then I also sneak in some storage back there, just a little bit of something. And then I'm going to place the Chem Bench and the smithy right here. I tend to like the square in the middle, or on the outside right there, just makes it a little bit easier than the rounded part in my visual aspects on it. We are going to put down actually, we need fridges first. So we're just going to put the fridges, make it to where they're, that facing out towards you, if I could do that myself. There we go. There. And then we'll go ahead and put the beds down, one on each side. And then we have some lamps. Just however many lamps that you think you need for the light. Don't go too overboard because you'll run out of slots for everything. So I was just going to put the 3 down to start with. That kind of takes care of the inside here for the crafting and what have you. Let's go ahead and work on the trap side now. So you're going to want to put down the doors, but you want those kinds of doors because otherwise some teams can kind of like sneak through. You want 4 of those, which now that will enable me to build straight down underneath them. And we'll put a wall there, there, and there, but over here we want double doors because this is our little sneaky hidey hold out when we're taming something. And oops, I did actually click on that. Let's pick that up. Alright, so now we've got 2 layers of ceilings. Should be a total of 4 of them on the length. Alright, and then we're going to put some more walls up right here. And you want to have this door in place before you put the gates in. Otherwise, you'll have to take the gate out to put the door down. But I snapping back on. I'll put a gate there and a gate here. And, oops, number 6, we'll put the doors on. Alright. Now we want the ramp so that the creatures can basically come into the trap. And I still use the stairs. I just like the aesthetics a little bit better, and it seems to work out quite well. Alright. And then, because it is a multi-purpose boat, I'm going to throw down some chairs if you want to do any kind of like fishing off of. It also helps with your anybody that's riding with you, so they have a place to sit down. Alright. And then you may not have the steampunk one, but I do suggest some sort of skin that allows it to where these doors open. I like the steampunk look, so I'm going to go with that one on myself. Let's see here. Come on. So as you can see, I can just like walk right through that, unlike these doors which don't auto open. Shock close. You can adjust the opening and closing if you want. I can still get up on my ladder. I can go ahead and finish skinning this out. I don't know. There's something going on with the servers right now that I'm recording this. There's a DDoS attack going on, and I don't know if that's why my files are messed up or my images are messed up. It all looks like rusted. Look. So, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright. Alright, the other part that we want to do is put our railings in. I like to put a rail up here. Pyromins tend to jump over quite frequently if you don't put that in there. So it just makes it a little bit easier. This is just cosmetics. You don't have to do the railings on the side. That one isn't even close enough to get one, so it's not that big of a deal. We do need to put our ramps in here as well. But I think I come out a bit. Yeah. So we extended just another layer out this way, so it should match up with the building that you're doing. So you can do that in the beginning if you want to kind of match it up. And this is just going to give a little spot for some tames to like crawl up onto once you get them out of the water. The turtles, I use those quite a bit in the ocean. So it just makes it a little bit easier on that. 7. And these are just cosmetics on the railings, so once again, you don't have to put them in there if you don't want to, or if you want to use those slots for other things like more storage or what have you throughout the boat. And the skin, I believe it comes with Bob's Tails, so most people have it that play the game on a regular basis. If you don't, I believe you can still get it, and it'll just auto unlock everything for you. Okay, so we're going to put some doors on here as well. Once again, with the skins, basically it just lets you open, shoot what you got to do, back away if you're getting damage or whatnot to kind of help you out some. Just makes things a bit easier. And Once again, you don't have to skin these. Just like I said, I just really like the cosmetics of it. Now I have used ladders in the past to get up to these doors, but you can't do that if they're skinned. So if you like the skins, you don't worry about any ladders trying to get up in there. You're basically just going to use this little hole to get out of whenever you're got something in there that you're trying to not get killed by. So this is kind of make it to where you can bring a dunk up here and just kind of like rest its head up here, and you can still grab everything out of the dunk, put it in here, which is also why I tend to put a link storage. Disable snapping. We'll just put a link storage right there. It's going to get powered from that as well. It just takes a little bit to spin it up, like 5 minutes. So basically you can just bring the dunk up right about here and unload it into the forge to smelt it, unload stone if you want over here to send back to your like land base and whatnot. There is some storage in here, minor amount there. You've got the different fridges to put stuff in, like the meat you're probably going to end up collecting, which is always good to have some meat. You're going to have stone, which you can use in the Chem Bench to with some chitin to turn into cementing paste. If you want, you can actually put a little bit more storage out here. Just right there, gives you a little bit. You can put another one right there and still kind of like get through here just fine. Now pyro mains do an AoE explosive damage, so some things will take a little bit of damage. Usually it's not too much. It's not enough to really worry about. Let me see. Let me pull up go on. Where's Force Tame? It's Force Tame, that's why it's letting me mount it like that, but I do have the saddle for it. Alright, so one of the things you can do is after, like fighting, if you're like getting too much damage or whatnot from the underwater creatures, you can actually just walk this bad boy right up on top of here. And that's pretty much what you have it. If you are underneath the ship and whatnot, and you're trying to get back up, if for some reason you can't make it to the ladders, you can just come straight here to the middle, just mount right up onto it, and you're on your boat. The reason why I give like 2 entry points is actually because sometimes it's hard to get past your dinos that are on here to get into this one, so it's really nice to having a second one. It's also convenient if you're trying to offload some metal into your different storages or whatnot. It's just right there. And sometimes these don't close properly. If you just walk next to them, they'll close when you walk away. But that's pretty much the boat. And there's a few more cosmetic things that I do, like putting skins on the chairs and the power. But other than that, thank you for watching.